Ah, bless you, Bukayo. And as you can see, what a wild game. Look at the first half stats compared to the second half. We have got plenty of analysis for you. It might take us till 6 in the morning, but do stay with us. There's plenty to get through. What a crazy game. We've even had to put the score on the floor here in studio, just to remind ourselves of the score.
To remind Danny Murphy.
I loved that when Danny said, what was the score? But what a crazy game.
It was brilliant in the fact of what we wanted to see was we wanted to see front foot football, and we got it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw Saka there, how much he's hurting, how much these players, I mean, how fit was he? You know, he obviously didn't, he felt he could have offered something, but at least tonight he gets an opportunity to give a performance, but you get that feeling that he wanted to play in the last game and he didn't get that opportunity.
Well, especially that last answer says so much, doesn't it?
Even the Argentinian manager was saying, I don't know why Saka didn't take to the bit. So we'll always be looking back, but we have to look forward now. And everyone learns from it going forward, and let's hope they do that. OK, let's hear from Thomas Tuchel. He's with Kelly.
Well, Thomas, wow, what a way for England's World Cup to finish. Try and sum that up for me if you can.
Well, difficult. It's enough for 4 matches. What happened here? We had a brilliant first half and then a turbulent second half. You could see the difference what one day makes and the difference in the schedule. We're just so tired and drained from the last weeks. So massive compliment and full respect. The mentality that we showed and going through all the adversity, absolutely brilliant.
Given what happened in the semi-final, did you ever fear that you weren't going to be able to see it out tonight?
If I was in fear?
I said, given what happened on Wednesday against Argentina, the way you lost the lead, did you ever fear that you wouldn't be able to see it out tonight?
I was afraid of the physical demand of the match because we know the quality and speed of France, and they have much less. The schedule for them was just less demanding. They had 1 day more in between the semi-final to digest, and they had way less travel distances than us. So this sums just up for us. We played in the heat, overtime, and in altitude and whatever. So I was worried physically, and yeah, you could see it in second half, all the cramps, all the tiredness. But I was never worried about the mentality. I said it before. This team created something very special, and they showed it again.
What changed at the drinks break as well? Because it felt like you had more control after that, or was it as simple as bringing on Jude Bellingham and Elliot Anderson?
Not sure if we had more control. We had just fresher legs and then quality players again, and the others were tired. And again, like France played in the full flow and then full risk. So we got lucky to not concede the equalizer and finished it off with a penalty and a brilliant goal.
Word on Bukayo Saka as well, the hat-trick hero tonight. Do you wish you could have played him more earlier in the tournament?
No. I could wish him. He did everything right. I had just a feeling in semi-final for Morgan Rogers that he would be involved in something special. That was it. And then the games in itself demand so much. We are so much forced into changes because of cramps and flow of the game. So Bukayo showed that he's a key player. There was never a doubt. I was not even aware now that he had a hat-trick. I lost the overview over the goal scorers, but well deserved, brilliant.
You've also spoken a lot this week about needing to close the gap on the top nations. Does a result like this maybe give the belief, and how far are England off that? Yeah,
but you see that you could see I think everything. We have the ability to close it, but we have also the ability within a gap. They have the ability to open it up again. Listen, they were 8 years ago, they were the champions. 4 years ago, they were in the final, they're in the Nations League final. So there is a slight gap, but there's no problem. We want to close it. I said yesterday, today is the first step to close it. We did it, we beat them. The next one will be against Spain in Nations League.
And I'm sure you're tired now, but still as energised as ever for this job?
Yeah, because matches and see a team fight like this gives you energy. The tiredness will come after. We will still feel the pain when we know tomorrow is the final and all that. So this will take a while, but overall, it gives me more energy than it takes from me.
Thanks, Thomas. Well done. Huge congratulations. England have the bronze medal. You've got the match ball, but wow, that was a roller coaster, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a crazy game. Obviously, we're both still quite disappointed to not be in the final, but it was about finishing strong, and for us, giving the country the best position in the World Cup they finished for around 60 years, so we're happy with the final result.
What won it for England in the end? Because for large parts of that second half, France were very much on the front foot.
I think the first half won it for us. You know, we won the first half, they won the second half, and obviously in the end we got the 2 goals to win the game, so I'd say that's how the game went.
A word on your penalty, the pressure on your shoulders then. Was Jude going to take it and he gave it to you?
No, Jude was never taking it. To be fair, he was the first one to say, go and get your hat-trick. He was just holding the ball for me, so none of them come and try and distract me, but yeah, I was always going to take it.
You are going to get the headlines with your hat-trick. A lot of people will be asking why you haven't played more in this tournament. Do you feel you could have played a bit of a bigger part?
Of course, I would love to have played more, but, you know, it's too late to talk about that, you know. I just try to do my talking on the pitch, and, yeah, it's done now, and let's move on.
And the Arsenal fans in particular, I'm sure, will be wondering just how fit you are, because you certainly looked out there.
Yeah, I'm fit.
And you've had a few days to reflect from the disappointment. How do you look back on England's tournament as a whole?
Yeah, I would say we built and built across the tournament. We had some amazing results, and in the end we fell short against Argentina, and yeah, it hurts a lot to all of us, and I'm sure it's the same for the fans back home, but we have to hold our head high and move on and focus on the next one, that's what I say.
Finally, yesterday, John Stones said he doesn't like the noise around the manager. How do you feel about that?
I think it's just part of the game. You know, when you lose, there's always going to be noise. When you win, there's going to be noise. It's how you react to it, how you use it as fuel. And yeah, today we finished strong, so that's all we could really do, and we done it.
Well played today. I know you didn't want the bronze, but it's a medal at least. Well done.
Very revealing interview. You probably heard Oasis Don't Look Back in Anger as well in the background. Is that how Thomas Tuchel needs to reflect on the World Cup now? Don't look back in anger?
Well, he'll carry the scars, because obviously that does impact on you. There was a fight, though, and there was a reaction. But what he needs to do now for the future is develop a game plan where they can control games in a better fashion. I think that's what Spain have shown us against France, and we didn't quite show that tonight. As much as the game had enterprise and so much interest at either end, it got a little bit hairy there. So, look, in the future, develop a game for us to do that. And I think the players are there. That's the encouraging thing. We saw a reaction from the players. There's enough ability there. It's just the manager getting it right, who the players are going to be at the right moments.
Stephen, Tuchel's been hammered for the substitutions and the defensive retreat against Argentina, but he got his substitutions back on tonight.
Yeah, he did. And the big thing was that arguably one of them was a midfield change which gave us more ability to press in that central area, which is probably what we needed against Argentina. The other one was Bellingham, which allows you to win free kicks, it allows you to hold the ball up, it allows you to take pressure off the team, it allows you to drive up the pitch, which is completely different to what we saw the other day. The big thing about losing a football game is how you react to it and how you learn from it. Now, the players will learn from it, but also the manager has to learn from it as well. I think there's been a lot of talk about Bellingham, Tuchel talking about how he's not disappointed with the changes he made in the Argentina game. He stands by them. But I think deep down, I think he'll look back on it in time and think, I could have been a little bit more proactive. I think he's probably looked at that over the last couple of days and thought, I can do more. Today he's done that. It had a positive effect towards the end of the game. But I agree with Martin. You don't want to get to that point where you're 4-0 up and suddenly you go to 4-3 and you think, hang about. Like, we shouldn't be in this position. We should be controlling this game. You'd think if Spain went 4-0 up, they'd be able to control it a lot better. It might get to 4-2, but it'd never get too close.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, Martin, I go back to that point I made earlier in that question to you about, let's remember what this game is and what it means compared to a World Cup semi-final. Because it did seem as if the players were enjoying tonight. And yet, in the last 15 minutes, there did appear to be a fear in the eyes of those England players, knowing what was coming and the onslaught that Argentina put in front of them.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I mean, obviously, we all know what the goal was to come here and win the World Cup. And this isn't a consolation, but this is the first step back. You know, the Phoenix has to rise out of the ashes. You have to react. And there's been a reaction tonight. As bitter as they all feel, you know, they've given a good account of themselves this evening. So that's the first step. Of course, now we get to another tournament. How much have we learned? We were being told that Thomas Tuchel would give us something a bit different, something in the moment. Well, we found out that it's still very tough. Doesn't matter about what you've won before when you come into this job. You know, people were saying Gareth Southgate didn't quite have that in the moment. Well, he didn't do a bad job when you look now. But he's taken us to the expectation level has risen. Thomas Tuchel couldn't quite take it there to the next step. I think, though, we're on a decent pathway. And if these people can stick together, can learn from this, and he can educate the players to play with more freedom. Because when he talked about DNA, it looked like he was having a little bit of a go and detaching himself from that and saying, look, something I can't control. Yes, he can. I've been there with a foreign manager, with Arsene Wenger, who made sure that we played with total belief and anything was possible. An attack, all-out football was what we played. So I think they come out with this with a level of credit tonight, picking up these medals.
It's a home European Championships, as we see Harry Kane leading the squad up to get their bronze medals. It's a home European Championships as well. What does this squad learn from that sort of heartbreak, Stephen?
Well, how do you develop? How do you emulate what Spain are doing, what Argentina are doing? If you can get a blend of Spain and Argentina, which is the ability to control the game, the ability to be horrible to play against, to be streetwise in the way that Argentina are, that's the blend you're looking for. Are we a product of our own Premier League where it's fast, it's frantic, it's overpaced at times? However, we've got so many European foreign players within our league, you wouldn't think it's just that. So it's something maybe
that... Seen some crazy Champions League games.
Well, 100%, yeah, but also as well, is it what's going on in our grassroots? Can we develop more from grassroots, from the young ages up until senior football?
Well, this is what I was saying earlier about whether Thomas Tuchel talking about the DNA, Martin, whether it comes from grassroots right the way to international elite level, in terms of when you see Argentina, you know what you're going to get. They're going to keep fighting to the end, and they'll be fighting battle. Spain will control a football game. Yeah,
100%. And I think you look at the difference in the abilities of our centre midfielders more so than anything, in the way that they demand the ball under pressure all the time. I mean, there's the old saying, like, they'll take a ball in the phone box and keep it off you. That's the type of player that you want in tight situations, that can draw fouls and can keep the ball.
But what he did say when he took the job was that there wasn't a clear identity and there wasn't a clarity in the way that the England team plays. They don't play with a rhythm, and he has to ask himself, was he able to bring that to the table?
Well, the answer is no.
No. So, look, it's a learning curve. It's not as easy as all of that.
It's a nice touch to see Jason Steele coming up, who's been part of the squad. Because he's been helping out the squad all the way through the tournament, and I think that epitomises what this squad's all about. There's a real togetherness, and you can see there Jordan Henderson and Harry Kane bringing him up to the stage. Lovely touch.
And remember, Jude Bellingham, first England player to score 7 goals at a World Cup, overtaking Gary Lineker in 1986, Harry Kane 2018 and 2026, and further cementing Bellingham's reputation in world football.
Well, he's been immense. I mean, he must be one of the top players in world football right now. The way he drives through midfield, his technique in front of goal, it's all there. He's a top-class international player that we can build around. You know, we have the basis there. Harry Kane go to another championship. I think he'd go to the Euros. Does he do a World Cup? Maybe too much. But we do need to find another centre forward, that's for certain, because we seem to have now with strikers, but Harry Kane's been immense. You can never question him in an England shirt.
There were also a couple of key lines from that interview with Thomas Tuchel with Kelly Summers about a turbulent second half. He was worried about the players being tired and drained, and he was afraid of the physical demands. Let's face it, England have been involved in some real tough encounters, notwithstanding that game at the Azteca. Yeah,
and also when he was talking about France's travel, you think of France, where they located themselves. They were based out of New York, and then they had games in Boston, New York, and I think the other one was, Philadelphia. So there was very little travel. The travel in America, it takes out